The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right. Good morning, traders. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the hump. Welcome to the Tradespoon live trading room, stocks and options, opening bell, Christmas week, only 3 shopping days left. Get out there and get your last minutes before it's too late. As I said, I'm filling in for Vlad all week. Lucky for me. Maybe not as lucky for you, but okay. Good morning, Wonderful Wednesday to you, Dennis. Good morning, Fred. Good morning, John. Let me just see. Sorry, let me see what's going on. Good morning, Jeff. Good to see you. Fred says it looks like Stella's taking a negative outlook for the next 10 days. Yeah, I mean, look, last week we thought here's what we're looking for the possibility for a last year-end rally, Santa bounce. It gave a signal, and then it failed. It failed. Probably a few small gains, a few break evens, a few small losses, but there was plenty of time to close any new bullish trades without too much damage. I would definitely say things are fundamentally shifting more bearishly. We're seeing it in a number of different areas. We'll talk about that today. Good morning, Phil. Thank you as always. Hello, Charles. Howdy, Bob. Good morning, Faust. Let's get going. As I said, I am Scott, head trading coach, trading for over 20 years, teaching for almost 20. Getting close. 20 years this summer. Here's the disclosures. Be careful. Trading can be risky. I'm sure you probably know that by now. Have a plan. Remember, we're not advisors. We're educators and philosophers and enjoyers of life. All right, let's go look at things as they get started. Futures are up. We said there's a chance we might get a bounce. If you're willing to trade the bounce, you have to have an idea of what stocks you would trade them on and for how long and what you're looking for. Or are you watching the bounce? Remember, this has been the theme of the week. I like to have a theme for the week. Good morning, LK. Good morning. Thank you, John. So the theme of the week was market posture versus trading posture. That's been the theme. What is your market posture? We've said that our market posture has shifted to more neutral or even slightly bearish. Our trading posture, though, is what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do today? So we said if there was any trades, we were more at a support level than a resistance level and thinking things might bounce. So I took profit 2 days ago on the first part of a hedge. And the rest of it yesterday. So my early hedge, because again, it's already been 16 days. I can't wait much longer. I buy 5 weeks. If I get to the end of week 3, those last 2 weeks, unless I'm in the money, those last 2, and I am, I would say at the money, not in the money, at the money. Those last 2 weeks, remember that the time decay is going to suffer greatly, right? And so how we take profits is going to be very much dependent upon our trading posture. S&P's up 0.79 based on what? Earnings. Nike and FedEx did pretty well. Nike particularly gapped up 12%, which is a good sign for retail that possibly at least the good companies are getting their inventory problems under control. So yeah. Why Japan's shock policy shift didn't freak out the markets. Did for a minute. That's what I was talking about yesterday. Did for a minute overnight, but it didn't. It certainly didn't by the time it opened. Carnival Cruise Line expected to report earnings ahead. Ooh, I don't know if that's good or bad. That doesn't seem great. What else do we have going on? Bitcoin miner Core Scientific files for bankruptcy. Yeah. Oh. The crypto market's still going through a thing. McDonald's, a recessionary stock. What else do we have going on? Gas below $3 could be days away. Okay, there you go. I've noticed it's been cheaper filling up. Elon Musk lashes out at unhappy investors. Tesla shares retreats, lashing out a lot. Things don't seem to be going his way right now. I'm not going to lie. It's a bit enjoyable to watch. What else? Tesla is freezing hiring, laying off employees. I don't know. I'm starting to think that the Cybertruck, it may not come to fruition. I don't think they're going to deliver that Cybertruck. Anyone want to weigh in on that? John, what are your thoughts? Okay, that's it for the news. The news kicks into gear later in the week, okay? If you look, what is today? Today is Wednesday. We do have consumer confidence coming out in a half an hour. That one is important to me. I do want to see something there, but I don't really see it as a catalyst, right? As a potential catalyst. Maybe, but probably not. Thursday, jobless claims, GDP. Although honestly, if you look at what let's take a pause. These are the futures. You can see the futures are up. This is a turn. That's what we were talking about, right? We said we're not going to get in down here bearishly. We're thinking this thing looks like it's ready to give us a little pop. How much of a pop? That's where we're. Yeah, I want my $100 back too. Give me my $100 back. Maybe up here on the futures to this 39.45 level. I believe it was 390 on the SPY. If it does more than that, then if you want to capitalize, you have to do it now. Now's the time. If you think that this has any ability to move up to this area, up here or up here, any of that, now's the time, or else you're going to be a spectator. That's it. So from your trading posture standpoint, you've got to decide, am I willing to think about bullish trades as I look at the market? It's a lower low, but it is definitely establishing a support. Sellers stop selling, buyers start buying. Today would be the signal from the SPY. Now, we've seen signals. Remember, when we see a signal on the S&P, typically that's a window that opened the day before and closes the day after. So If this is the SPY signal, then it really starts here and ends here, right? We've got this window for bullish trades through here, right in here. That's what we're thinking about. Okay. So that's what you're deciding here. If you have bearish trades, what do you do with them? If you have hedges, you probably hold them a little longer. If you have speculatively bearish trades, you're probably shutting that down. And then you're asking, am I going to put anything bullish on? So we have GDP tomorrow, jobless claims tomorrow. There's the opening bell. And then we've got some inflationary data, income, some more sentiment. Pretty important stuff on Friday. The inflationary data is probably the biggest thing. CNN reported that the FBI paid Twitter $3 million to repress negative Biden tweets during last election. Source Elon Musk. And former FBI employees were part of Elon Musk firings. Will that affect Tesla? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's definitely kind of a shit show, to be quite honest. So it seems that everything he's doing is affecting Tesla. And it seems like, nobody cares because Twitter's private now, other than Twitter employees. Like, run it to the ground. I don't care. I don't tweet. I don't read tweets. So that thing could die and I wouldn't lose a night of sleep. I'd feel bad for the employees, but I'm sure they'll be fine. Programmers can find jobs pretty easily, usually. Tesla, yeah, Tesla wants him out, man. They're like, dude, he's a drag on the company right now. So I think anything potentially is affecting it. What's the tweet? Thank you, Jeff. Love it, man. Yes, sir. Love it. Let's see what Stella says. Fred warned me. Oh, yeah. However, Stella is still calling for this. And we never know what that looks like. Could that be this instead? Yeah. Could it be here? I don't think so. But, look, anything's possible, of course, right? So what are we thinking? We're thinking A, B, C. A is what's most likely. B is what's next most likely. C, right? Have 3 or 4 or even 5 different scenarios where you're like, this is what I'm going to trade. This is what I'm going to be ready for. This is my fear. This is right. And if you want to be right, have more than one idea of what might happen. So for me, this jives exactly with what I'm looking at. And that is, I'm looking for this bounce. I'm not looking for it to be very much, 1, 2, maybe 3 days. And then I'm looking for a lower high followed by that. That's the big concern. I'm watching the VIX to help me with that. This is what we say when we're saying this had a little bit of a shift into more of a bearish market posture, not trading posture. Today, my trading posture is not bearish. It's more bullish than anything. The question is how bullish. Bob says not bullish enough. Not worth trading the bounce, in my opinion. So Bob says I'm not putting anything on. I don't think it's much, but I probably will put a couple of things on because I just like to have something on just in case. And I'll manage it fairly aggressively. So that's another piece of it. Fred says, don't forget it's a long day. Isn't it, though? Oh, it's a long day that we'll spend the last hour. We're not going to have just morning coffee together. We're going to have afternoon coffee together as well. So we will definitely look forward to that together. Let's look at the other markets real quickly. Let's see how things look on the open. I'm going to switch over to the SPY now that we're live. And yeah, we're up 0.63, but it's just kind of stalled there. Actually, as I look at that, I'd say the futures look just a titch better than maybe the SPY. But for me, I think, if it got up to this area here, It would be more like take 2/3, keep a third on. Maybe it gets up to this 400 level. But I don't think anyone's really looking for these levels here anymore. My neutral portfolio starting to make me crazy, Ted said. Yeah. You mean neutral, like delta neutral trades, butterflies, calendars, iron condors, or just taking a little bit from different sides, a little bull, a little bear. I mean, either way, I agree with you. This is definitely difficult. So yeah. Yes. Will consumer confidence shortfall tank the day? So we had a quick poll about that. Let's go back. Here's the cues. The cues, it's kind of the same thing, right? Is there going to be this little uptick, little upside consolidation before we have the next drop down? That's the big question. Okay. If we go to DIA, a little bit where it's saying it could be pausing, could be up a little bit. And let's finish with IWM. IWM looks like it's mostly just falling. So, yeah, not much there, right? Not much there. Will consumer confidence shortfall tank the day? So, we look back here, the consumer confidence number. Like I said, I don't know that there's enough for it to be a catalyst unless it has a big surprise. So it's expecting, previous was 100.2, expecting 101.2. I think if we're in the 90s, so if we don't even achieve last month's number, maybe. And if we get above the expectation, maybe. So I don't know. If we're between 100 and 101.5, I don't think it's going to have much impact. Below 100 or above 101.5, maybe, depending on how much above or below it is. The cyclicals correlation still strong. Excuse me. A lot of times, right, we have this pullback, which we did have. It's just more pronounced than normal. So can we catch a bounce for the last week of the market? Yeah, I do think so. I do think we can. Is it going to be a big bounce to a higher high? No, I don't think so. That's the big difference for me. But I do think, we're at a good correlation. Things have been moving somewhat along those lines. So yeah, I would say definitely. Okay, let's dive in. So there's the SPY. Now, what's important to us? Let's look at the VIX. So the VIX did roll over, right? It was right here, in fact, that it actually technically gave from a body standpoint, it was here. From a shadow standpoint, it was here, but it did create a new high. It went up, and it did that. Then it came down, and did that, and then it went up, and it's now turned, and it's here. This is not going to be a higher low, but I'm still concerned, right? So, like I said, the hedge that I took here, I've closed both sides now profitably. And it's interesting because I got it on early, but it wasn't a huge surge by the time I was shutting it down, but it's definitely still played off. The hedge over here, still on, and I'm going to continue to hold that one. But we'll see what happens. Now, like we said, today's a long day. Could we end up looking like this? Like that. And if you put that in here, it actually is still kind of holding that same level. And if it then turned off of that, then I would be glad I kept my hedge, and I'd probably add some more to it. So, yeah, it's very difficult to look at today and just say, oh, look, see how good it is. It's got to finish strong. That's what we're going to be looking for later today, right? Is does it finish strong? That's our concern. Let's look through the watch lists and just kind of get a sense of how things are moving today in the market. We'll see if there's a response here in about 20 minutes when we get the consumer confidence numbers. Okay. Nothing for me in Alcoa, nothing for me in Apple. I have no interest in trying to trade Apple off of a lower low. If there was any trade to be made, it would have been Microsoft out of there. ADI, that's a potential for me. Archer Daniels just doesn't look great. I mean, I like consumer staples. I think maybe, one of the assignments the rest of this week should be, should we identify some staples and some, maybe a utility or two that we want to add. Oh, Micron is tonight, Bob said. Okay, interesting. I don't have Micron on my list, but that's definitely could be a mover. There's AMD. Amazon's coming off of new lows, nothing there. AXP coming off of new lows, nothing there. MasterCard would be the play if we were thinking about that. Boeing trade, that's the one I took. I took that one back in here on this turn. It looks okay. Great. Let's see if it goes a little higher. Microsoft, John Deere, and Caterpillar just weren't as good, but those were the three we were looking at. Baba, it needs to be a little stronger on the entry for confirmation, but you can see we are oversold. The buyers took a break. The sellers didn't do much. The Chinese stocks seem to be holding up. That's a maybe. Cardinal Health, really grinding sideways. I think we can do better. I'm going to delete Cardinal Health from the list. Caterpillar around the same time got around the same signal. That looks pretty good. I think you could have gone either way, but you can see Caterpillar was much more sideways overall. ConocoPhillips. Oh, okay. So it does look like it's maybe breaking the consolidation through here. If this thing gets up a little higher and then pulls back and doesn't get all the way back down, that's my next trade on ConocoPhillips right there. I would definitely look to take that trade. Costco, there's nothing here. It's weak right now. I love Costco. Everybody knows I love Costco, but it's not a time to trade it. DBC, okay, so maybe, and we'll see what natural gas looks like, but I do think that natural gas is the strongest of any play in the energy sector, at least as of right now. But we'll look at it. John Deere, like I said, like Caterpillar sideways, and it's not seeing the same momentum. DIA up 1%. Come on. Disney bouncing off of new lows. Nothing there. FCX. There's my materials play if I play one. And you can see you're getting across. This thing is trying to turn. Oh, that's a maybe for me. That's one I would look at and see this afternoon. We'll take a look at it. Here's FCX. Stella does not like it. What else have we said we think is okay? ADI, Baba, maybe. Let's see. What does Stella like? She might not like much. She does not like ADI. Well, you can see it's actually projected to get higher than it is now, depending on this little pullback here. Carnival Cruise. Here's Alibaba. Alibaba. No, okay. We'll come back and see. FedEx gapped up, but is giving back half of it already. But it is up still 3.5%. FXI. Ooh, see, I like FXI better. I like FXI better than Baba. I don't think that Stella is going to like FXI much better, but I do. Yeah. Yeah. On its way down still is what is being projected. Gold. Still some momentum there. Goldman, not for me. I'm not trading off those lows. Like I said, if there was any financial stock right now, it would be probably MasterCard, maybe Visa, something along those lines. ET. ET. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, it's a lot of sideways. It's been around $12 since August. Dropped as low as 10, as high as 13. Right now, sitting at 11.75. It's not a lot of momentum in there, but it does seem like it's holding support at 11.5. Did I mention that today's presentation is sponsored by coffee? No particular brand, just the drink in general, because it's delicious and nutritious. IBM. Yeah, you know what? I threw IBM on there because I'm like, look at this. It's looking good. And then it just kind of sputtered. I don't know. Maybe I keep it on here because it could have a bearish play on it. We'll leave it another little bit, but losing patience. IWM coming off of new lows. Jets coming off of new lows. Lilly. If you like healthcare, Lilly and Merck were two that we said we like. That's definitely showing signs of a turn. MasterCard showing signs of a turn. If you think it can hold, if you think it can catch this here, you've got, I'm not looking for the old high. I mean, even if it gave me a head and shoulders, I could make some money on that, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder. That's 15 points. I can put my stop down here and risk 4 to make 15. Yeah. Do I have GSK? Oh, I did talk about GSK, Bob. Did I not get it on my list? Yeah, I would agree. That looks, I'm going to make sure I put it on this time. I actually was going to mention healthcare as getting a new one too. I like Glaxo. So Lilly, GlaxoSmithKline, MasterCard on the table for later today. Meta, I don't see it. Merck, yeah, you know what? Actually, I think I like Lilly and Glaxo better than I like Merck. I don't see much there. Marvell, it's showing a hook, but it's showing a hook off of a lower low. Microsoft, if you want to trade technology, Microsoft is an option. It's holding support, if nothing else, right? If nothing else, it's not coming off of lower lows. What else? Netflix. That's a maybe for me. It held. We said as long as it keeps above this 275 level, it did. Netflix, if you were thinking about something bullish, there is something there to consider. Okay. NVIDIA, there's a tech. So for technology, I would say it's Microsoft or NVIDIA for me. For healthcare, I would say it's GlaxoSmithKline or Eli Lilly. What else have we talked about? The industrial trade, Boeing is already on. So financials, I would say MasterCard, Oracle. Oracle looks okay too, but I think I like Microsoft and NVIDIA better. QQQ. I have a BA on. Starbucks. Yeah, I don't know yet. Maybe soon. Silver looks a little overextended. Semiconductors looks like it's turning, but turning off of a lower low. Here's the SPY up 0.8%. Let's dive into this just a little bit. Yeah, let's dive in. Yeah. There we go. All right, so we gapped up, sold a little bit. It looks like it's wanting to show a little bit of momentum here. Tesla. I think Tesla, man, I don't even know what to think about Tesla. Next stop, 100. I mean, it looks like it could get there in a few weeks. That's crazy. You could have got it, and this is split adjusted. 23, and then it got up to 414, and now it's given most of it back again. It's a volatile stock. Natural gas. Okay, so here's the thing about natural gas. I wanted it to hold. It has, barely, but it's held. Now I need it to turn, and if it turns, I think we have something. So maybe not today, even though it's up 1.4%. Your stochastics is down. You've got more of a looming candle than a booming candle. So let's be patient with something like this for sure. Visa. Visa looks okay, but like I said, MasterCard looks a little better. Here's the VIX. The VIX looks strong. I mean, this is surprisingly strong. We're almost back into the teens all of a sudden out of nowhere. Like, what? What just happened? But the price just does not seem to be reflective of that. So it's very interesting. Can we look at UNG in the model? Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll look at some of the others we talked about too. UNG, I mean, yeah, right? So not quite, but you can see that this bullish kick is kind of loitering out here, trying to move its way closer, holding support. I think this supports it, like we said. Maybe not quite yet, but it's there. So if you're thinking about UNG as a representation of the energy sector, as what you want to trade from that sector, it's showing I think, pretty close. So, yes. Okay. Okay. Toll and let's look at the home builders. Let me get this real fast here. We've got time. We've got some time here still. Microsoft was one that we said Stella's not super keen on that. What about NVIDIA? Those are our two tech stocks that we like the most. NVIDIA, more sideways, more neutral. She's grumpy. She's not happy. What else did we have on here? We said, so technology, we said MasterCard maybe from financials. Stella is not happy about that. So you can see if you're looking for confluence between price action and the pricing model, it's not there. That's a nice turn on Toll Brothers. What was the other one? KBI or KBH? KB Homes. Very similar. You could even just go with XHB, which is the Home Builders ETF. I kind of like that one, actually, to be honest. Did I add Toll? I think I did. No, I didn't. Let's see what Stella thinks about the home builders. XHB. That's a no. Toll. I don't think Stella's going to like much of anything. Oh, Toll Brothers. She's like, what? Of course I do. Toll Brothers looks pretty good. KBH. Okay, Toll Brothers. That looks pretty good. That looks reasonable as an opportunity. Yeah. All right. All right. What else? Let me get back to my watch list and we will dive in. Let's see. Oh, Boeing is turning into a good day. I bought calls. I didn't do a spread. I just bought calls. If you remember when we looked at this, the vol was down here. I mean, it's 38, but it's the lows, right? At the times, I bought the 190s. So I got in here when we were at about 185. I went a little out of the money. Yeah, it's a good day for that. Not bad at all. Can't complain. Whoops. Where's my watch list? Sorry. And SPY still kind of flat. Tesla, look at that. Tesla's already given it back. It was up $2. Now it's up 115. 106. It's dropping quickly. There's natural gas, Visa. I like MasterCard better. It's tough because, the VIX is showing like, hey, look, the fear's dissipating. But when you look around, you're like, but is it though? Are we sure? So it's definitely a market that's giving us some mixed signals. Walgreens Boot Alliance is getting punched in the mouth today for some reason. You're off the island. There's no reason to watch you. Financials doesn't look great. Industrials doesn't look great. We're already in that one. Staples. Yeah, it's tough because we were feeling and seeing more bullishness and traded that way. And then last week we got the last sign and it just sort of failed. Yeah, I think there's a couple of opportunities possibly that we're going to look at later this afternoon together. And we will see what we think about those. This afternoon, do we have a new trade to put on? In the meantime, we do have some news coming out here. We're going to wait and see what that looks like. And I've got my Christmas Eve plans. I'm going to go watch Violent Night. Anyone seen that? I hear it's Die Hard with Santa Claus kind of a deal, which sounds excellent. Violent Night for Christmas Eve family movie. That should be fun. Okay, let's see if we can find the news on the release. Do we think it's going to react? We have a little bit of a contest, an over-under contest from yesterday. Where is my... The Night Santa went crazy. Okay, I like that. Consumer Confidence Index. Did they really come in at 108? That's where they came in, Fred? I'm trying to pull it up. Yep. Oh my goodness. How do I find the live news? Where did you find that, Fred? So fast. You're so fast and nimble. Finding CNBC said, okay, maybe I'll just go there. CNBC.com. Good morning, Angelique. I am doing well. Nike on strong earnings, blah, blah, blah. Where's my home sales tumbled? Was that coming out today too? Existing home sales. Ooh. So we are expecting 4.1 million. And we got live TV, CNBC. Okay, yeah. Seasonally adjusted pace was 4.09. But see, they say it tumbled, but here's the thing. When you look at the numbers, you're not really looking at compared to prior. They've already forecasted that. We were expecting 4.17. That alone is already down. What is that? 0.36, 0.26? What does that equal? 0.26 divided by 4.45. Is that what it was? Why is my calculator so big? Jeez, that's an enormous calculator, buddy. 4.3. We were expecting it to drop 6%. It ended up going 7.7%. That's really not really anything other than we knew that with higher mortgage rates, sales are going to drop. It's a pretty simple thing. I don't think that's going to impact the market. But I wish it would show me I wish I could show you that. But according to Fred, who's watching it, we don't have it up yet. Consumer confidence came in at 108. So let's just see if there is a catalyst from that. Ooh, it seems like there is, right? It seems like we're kicking out of that news. So at least for the initial 3 minutes, we still have a long day ahead of us. We still have just under 6 hours of market activity ahead of us. But as of right now, the consumer confidence number, if we can have consumer confidence stay high with a slight downtick in sales, right? Where it's like where they're confident even if they're not spending as much, inflation numbers come down and jobs stay relatively the same, I agree with the Fed. I don't think there's another recession coming. I think we'll be fine. But like we said, it's a long day, a lot coming out. That's a very strong consumer confidence number. And we'll see. I don't think we had anybody on the over. Everybody was on the under. We're thinking, here's one thing that I've realized. When you trade and you're involved, it always seems worse than it does to everybody else. Right? You're like, oh, there's so many bad things, but it's like the average person's like, yeah, everything seems okay, I guess. It's fine, I guess. And that's where it's coming from. So, keep that in mind. This is a good representation where it's like we're all thinking, oh, this could be ugly. And then it was very strong. The home sales number was a little bit under expectations, but all of that is to be expected, if you ask me. So, consumer confidence, expecting 101, previous 100.2, we got 108.3. Very strong reading, despite everything else going on. So what do we need to support that, to possibly see this turn into a rally? We need to see no surprises from jobless claims or GDP, and then we need to see just even a little bit. If we're expecting 0.3 and we come in at 0.2, and if we're expecting 6 and we come in at 5.7, if we're expecting 4.6 and come in at 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, any small amount of a reduction. If it doesn't, if the inflation numbers are at or above expectations, the fact that jobs have been strong, the fact that consumer confidence is strong, the Fed's going to stay at 0.5% on their next meeting, maybe even go back to 0.75. Like, well, let's just hit it. Right? So unfortunately, all the news we're getting is still feeding the Fed. Feeding the Fed what it needs to make its decisions, and that is still what's going to move the market going into next year. Now, the next meeting is not until late January. Let's get a schedule. Let's get a sense. I believe it's like January. I'm going to make a guess. I'm going to guess at it. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to say the 25th. FOMC 2023. Whoops. FOMC 2023. Let's see what it's going to do for us. The meetings are January 25th and 26th. That's the first one. That is, oh, well, that's weird. Oh, that's this year. Sorry. Next year, 2023. Oh, I'm wrong. It's a week later. It's January 31st to March 1st. That doesn't seem right. That puts it on a Saturday and a Sunday. No, I'm not there yet. There it is. I gotta get my shit together. There it is right there. January 31st, March 1st. That's the next meeting. So we've got 5 weeks before that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So let's just take a quick look here before we wrap things up. There it is. You can see we are bouncing. Things are looking a little better. Can we ride that into a bounce? How's Boeing looking? Look at Boeing go. Oh, Boeing. You sweet dog. All right. We have some opportunities to be thinking about this afternoon. If you're not going to be with us, what are those opportunities? I still like FCX. FXI is a maybe for me. GlaxoSmithKline or possibly Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly's already moving pretty steady. I do like MasterCard. I do like Microsoft. I do like NVIDIA. Toll Brothers. Toll Brothers. That's probably the leaders, I would say. We'll take a look. We'll see. Does this thing continue to move, or does it start to give it back? And then we'll go from there. All right. Well, it's good to see everybody. I enjoyed morning coffee with you. I'm going to go get another cup, watch this market for a little while. We'll meet back here in about 4 hours and 50 minutes. And we will discuss all things market related. I hope you'll join me. If not, enjoy your fourth to final shopping day before Christmas. There's not a lot of time left. You got to be ready. And I will see you soon. As always, happy trading.